Hey guys, today's Tuesday and I was actually able to take a ATM model short. So yeah, definitely has been a long time since we traded the setup the last time. So yeah, really amazing to see it to play out. And yeah, I will as always make a quick trade breakdown. So right here you can see the daily chart. As you can see right here, we are basically still trading within the price range. So what I mean by that is between the high right here and the low right here. So we are still just trading within it, and we cannot really decide, yeah, if we will break out of the range to the upside or to the downside. So yeah, actually quite difficult right now on the daily chart, also because we have relatively low volume. And also the huge high time frame gaps, and yeah, but what we are still looking at is definitely the liquidity void right here. You can see the quadrants of it, and yeah, that's basically it. We also have a new higher time frame gap of today's trading day. So let's drop to a 1 hour chart. What you can see right here is yeah, the liquidity void marked out. We can also see like basically the session highs, but let's just drop to a 50-minute chart. So right here we have Asia highs, London highs, which got basically scrapped at 9:45. We scrapped London lows, and also New York open kill zone were basically untouched, but we had SMT, I will show you in a second. And we, as you can see right here, traded into the liquidity void and from there on traded higher. And yeah, so before we drop to a 1 minute chart, I want to show you regular trading hours. So really important right here. Why? Because we are still basically below the high of the new opening range gap from Thursday. We could not trade basically or close above it. We are still trading within the range. And we also have like the huge new range opening gap right here, and we only traded to the lower quadrant right here, so that's definitely a yeah, important support level. And also we scrapped the low basically of Monday right here, so today, and from there we are now trading higher. And we also today basically had a yeah new range opening gap of 5600, so therefore we expect NQ to trade back to consequent encroachment. So maybe let's drop to a 5-minute chart. Yeah, right here you can see we traded below it, scrapped also the 930 low, traded back to the lower quadrant, swept the low right here, and we are now trading higher. So let's drop back to NQ. We can now basically go to a 1-minute chart, and as you can see right here, we had SMT with ES. So on ES we already scrapped the low right here, so therefore a market maker buy model right here is in play. Therefore the opening was aggressively higher, targeting basically New York open kill zone buy side liquidity and also London highs and even Asia highs. So I did not want to take any longs in here because we were already overextended, already above all midnight opening prices. And what I was still basically looking for was the fact that we would deliver lower into the liquidity void right here, and also let's drop back to regular trading hours, that we will trade back eventually into the inefficiency right here, and also like take out the low right here, and yeah, and definitely also trade back to consequent encroachment of the new day opening range gap of today basically. So that was what I was looking for, so therefore I was looking for shorts in here, but I was definitely really patient. So let's basically show you my executions. As I already mentioned, I took a ATM model short. Why is that a ATM model short? Because it's basically Jermaine's model where we target the opening prices, where we basically are already overextended with the opening, and then we take basically a market maker sell model back to the 930 opening, and eventually even to the New York open kill zone sell liquidity. So the perfect short would have been after basically closing below CE of the inverted fair value gap right here. Why? Because we are within our time macro, 10 a.m. macro. We had basically SMT right here, and also with basically inversing the bullish fair value gap, we have CSD. So therefore the entry right here would have been perfect. That's our smart money reversal right here after we swapped basically all session buy sell liquidity as well. And what I also really like is the fact that on the 5-minute chart we were basically disrespecting the higher time frame gap right here. So we could not close above consequent encroachment. We closed below it. That's what we want to see if we are bearish. And the fact that we basically traded perfectly to consequent encroachment of the wick right here. So therefore the level right here is balanced and we can trade lower. So that's really important, and also will decide or will eventually save you from taking many losses if you just focus on the 5-minute chart as well. So yeah, where did I enter? I entered right here short. Why? Because I expected the gap right here to get treated as a breakaway gap, and in fact that's what we did. So yeah, it's a bit difficult to take any shorts in here by market, because just with the opening of the 1-minute candle right here, we aggressively trade lower, and therefore you really have to be quick. Yeah, I'm content with basically being more patient, because I like to see that we displace through the balanced price range right here and also through the higher time frame gap. So I really like to take or to be a bit more patient. So the short right here is definitely perfect. We also had a really clean SIBI actually right here. Why? Because we have a volume imbalance paired with the high of the up close candle right here. We traded perfectly to consequent encroachment, traded lower, and we basically failed to trade back into the breakaway gap. That's really low resistance delivery. That's what we want to see. And I basically targeted definitely the 9:30 opening. That's always what we want to target. Right here with the candle, we already traded back to consequent encroachment, but that would have been just a too small range for a partial. So therefore I aimed for the 9:30 opening, and I closed basically by market right here at consequent encroachment of the higher time frame gap. So that's basically my first partial. That's perfect. And then I was aiming still for the liquidity, the open kill zone sell liquidity, because we already swapped this basically with SMT. It's definitely unlikely that we will reach it, but I was still aiming for eventually the lower quadrant of the liquidity void, or even the low of the liquidity void. And also on regular trading hours, as I already mentioned, I was hoping that expected that we would trade into the liquidity void right here. But as you can see right here, after we swapped the low right here with the wick, we still respected the lower quadrant of the new range opening gap, and from there on we traded higher. So therefore basically that's a perfect example where we take partials at reasonable levels and that's still a really good trade. So it got stopped right here eventually, and from there on we had basically a high resistance market maker buy model. But I'm just done for the day, especially because it's a Tuesday. It's not a perfect delivery always, so I'm really content with that. And I will see. I don't really think that I will trade this week, so I think I'm done with basically that for the week. I'm really content with that, and yeah, I guess see you soon.